So let's continue on with this right here. All right, we're at number 7, right? Oh, no, number 5. Okay, number 5 is, what is the greatest common factor of 48, 20, and 12? Okay, you could do one of two things here. Okay, you could list out all the factors of each number. So 1 and 48, 2 and, was it 24? 3 and 16, 4 and 12. Is there anything else? 6 and 8, right? Is there anything else? I think we got everything. Okay. What about 20? 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5, I think, right? And then 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, right? Are we good there? You guys know what we're doing? So what's the highest common factor? Okay, it would be what? The 4. Because they have the 4 in common, and that's the highest number that could go into all 3 of those numbers. Okay. You could also do the factor tree method, okay, as well. We did that before. But yeah, that's gonna take some time. But yeah, right. Remember that? Remember it was 48, right? And then we had to do 6 and 8, 3 and 2, 4 and 2, 2 and 2. So we have 4 2s and 1 3. Let's do 20. That's 4 and 5, 2 and 2. We have 2 2s and 1 5. And then we have 12. We have 6 and 2, 3 and 2. So we have 2 2s and 1 3. So remember, we're choosing the lowest of each factor, right? So we're choosing 2 2. We're choosing 3. Remember, this has a 3 to 0. This has a 5 to the 0. So 3 to the 0 and 5 to the 0. So 2 squared. Remember, this is 1. This is 1. This is 4. So the answer is 4. I hope you guys remember that. Cool. Now let's go to the least common multiple of 6, 10, and 15. 6, 10, and 15. Okay, I would look at the highest number here. So does 6 go into 10 or 15? No. But let's go find multiples. What's 15 times 2? 30. All right. So then 10, 20, 30, right? But then what? 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. So this is the lowest number that 6, 10, and 15 can multiply into. Okay. All right. I mean, there are other numbers too, right? 36, 42, 48, 54, and 60, right? 40, 50, 60, 45, and 60. Notice that this is a common multiple, right? 60 is also a common multiple. All right. But 30 is the lowest of the common multiples. Okay. Number 6. All right, you have a graph here. All right, you have this right here. Remember, what form is that in? What form is the y equals 1 over 5x in? So slope, intercept form. So the 4 tells us the y-intercept, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 1 over 5 tells us the slope. So you go up 1 over 5. And that's your line. How many times have you guys done this? You guys have done this millions of times. All right. But notice in letter B that it's not in slope-intercept form. Anybody know what form that's in? It's in standard form. So 4x plus 2y is equal to 8. How do I get it into the slope-intercept form? I subtract the 4x. 2y is equal to negative 4x plus 8. I divide the 2. So y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. So now that I have that, so the reason why I'm doing that is because I could now graph this. You go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you go up 2, rise over run, right 1. And that's your line. You good? Any questions on that? No. What? Yeah, I will. So proud of you, Steve. Good question. Again, it's one thing to like copy down the questions and like look at it, go, I kind of get it. But then you guys have to kind of come up with this yourself, you know? Like you have to recognize certain patterns. You have to recognize right here, and right here, you have to recognize that this is in standard form, right? And so I have to get it into slope-intercept form, the y by itself, so that I could graph the y-intercept and slope, okay? All those things are there for a reason, right? Good? I'll do 2 more problems, and then I'll give you guys the rest of the period off, okay? So you guys can study, whatever. And then we'll finish the other 8 questions either tomorrow or, not tomorrow, Friday or Monday, all right? Cool? And I'll give you guys some extra time to do what you gotta do. Bathroom? No, Rosario, what's up? B is this one right here, sorry. Ooh, you know what? I made a mistake. Where did I make a mistake? Thank you. Why don't you guys tell me? I'm kidding. All right, my fault. All right, so I appreciate that, Rosario. So it is up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go down 2 and right 1. It should be going this way. Even Mr. Che makes these mistakes. Thank you, Rosario. Appreciate it. Okay. All right, everybody got on that one? Any questions? Number 7. This is like an equation, right? Letter A is negative 9 minus 5x is greater or equal to negative, sorry, this greater than negative 14. I add the 9 to both sides. So negative 5x is greater than negative 5. Then what do I do next? Divide by negative 5. Okay. But when I divide by a negative, what happens? I remember. What happens to this? It switches, becomes less than 1. How are we going to graph this on a number line? I don't know if you guys remember. So here is 0, here is 1. Put an open circle at 1, then you just shade on the left because those are all the numbers that are less than 1. So if you guys are good with your inequalities, like your signs and stuff like that, you should be able to figure this out, you know? Yes. Why, good question. Why is it an open circle? Because it's just less than, it's not less than or equal to. All right, if it was equal to, if there was that line underneath, you know how there's sometimes you put a line underneath, right? Then you would fill in the hole, right? But because there is no equal to sign, it doesn't include 1. So if your answer was 1, it wouldn't be right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like if x equals 1, right? That wouldn't be, you wouldn't include that in the inequality. It's less than 1. So if I ask you, give me a number less than 10, and if you say 10, that's wrong, right? Because it's not less than 10, right? All right, number 8, graph the inequality on the axis below. Well, there is no axis below, so you got to make them. So you got to subtract the 3x first, right? Why do you have to subtract the 3x? What form is it in? It's in what? Standard form right now. You're trying to put it into slope-intercept form. Now, don't freak out because you're going to get a fraction. Everybody freaks out with the fractions. But the fraction in this case kind of makes it a little bit easier. What happens to the sign? We divide by -4. So what happens? Changes and becomes 3 over 4x minus 1. You guys see that? I divided the 4 with the 3 and the 4. If I add a number to the other side, you just have to add it to one number. When you divide and multiply to the other side, you have to do it to both. All right? So now we graph this. What's our y-intercept? What's our y-intercept? -1. Then what do? Go up 3 to 3 and right 4. You will see that this is not hard. Not difficult. I think you guys could all get this. Yeah.
It's like, you know how you divided -3 by -4, and it's made up of fractions? So, like, why did it turn positive?
Because a negative and a negative make it positive. -3 divided by -4, that makes it positive. Love that question. Good job. All right, are we done yet with this problem? Almost. What do we have to do? We have to shade, right? Because y is greater than that. So you should use a test point. I would use 0, 0, right? 0 is greater than equal to 3 over 4 times 0 minus 1. And the reason why we want to use a test point is because we want to know which side to shade. All right? So we do this, right? What's 3 over 4 times 0? That's 0, right? 0 minus 1 is -1. Is 0 greater than -1? Yes or no? Yes. It's kind of a hard question. It's kind of hard to kind of conceptualize. Would you rather have no money or would you rather owe someone $1? You would rather have no money, right? Because when you owe someone $1, you still have no money, plus you owe someone $1, right? Whereas if you have 0, you're just at 0, right? So since this is a true statement, this is true, and the 0, 0 is above the graph, you are going to shade this way. Okay. Also make sure that this is a solid line, right? Remember that? A solid line, because there's an equal to sign. If there was no equal to sign, what would happen? It would be a dashed line. Yeah. On that one, I think there was, right? Wasn't there an equal to sign? Oh, there is no equal sign. I'm sorry. I made it up. So then it should be a dashed line. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Che making all these mistakes on YouTube too, you know? Are we good?